I remember at Bacon's Rebellion, I pulled together a conference maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and invited in a lot of people who were like avid readers and supporters of the magazine, of the publication. And I said, look, one of the things I want to do is how do we create a more civil dialogue? That was my emphasis at that time. How can we be more civil to one another, and how can we create news that everybody can buy into, can feel has some kind of credibility? I feel like I've kind of left that behind. The reason I left it behind is because the news, as it's reported and disseminated by the established media, and then not just the people in Washington, D.C., but the Richmond Times-Dispatch and the Virginian Pilot and many of the other newspapers, is so unbelievably one-sided and so unbelievably biased. I feel like I have to, with the limited resources that I have personally and the people that I can gather around me, we have to provide some balance. And we can't provide that balance by going out and living up to the old ideas and we'd be totally objective and totally fair and consider all points of view. Because there's only a handful of us. There's dozens and dozens of all these other people in the newsrooms who have like 1,000 times more page views and exposure than we have, and we can't fight back in any way by hewing to the old forms of objectivity. So what I find is like what we're doing is we're going in and reporting the facts and the figures and the perspectives that are not getting reported by the others. But that kind of distresses me in a way because I still feel that the old way of doing things, being objective and explaining the different points of view and explaining how this side says that, and this side says that, and this is how they interplay with one another, that's the best way of doing it. And maybe in another world, if somebody comes along and showers, a MacArthur grant on Bacon's Rebellion or something like that, then we can go to back to that model. There we are. The mainstream media has become hopelessly driven by narratives, and unfortunately, we have to as well.